land from his home in the rural areas, because in the rural areas, the chiefs will allocate several hectares of land to a particular family for subsistence farming. And these pieces of land, they are inherited, they are evolving through generations. If your great-grandfather has been given a land to do subsistence farming, that land now, it has been inherited by you because you got it from your father. So I just want to support Ausbongi when she said that this thing is just a gaslight, because we don't have a problem with the issue of land in the country, and I can bear testimony to that, because I work as a conveyancer. I'm always in the deeds office transferring documents, transferring land from one person to the other, making the next person to be to have a title deed. So I can see, I know, who has what land in the country. I know that black people are biggest owners of the land. Every transfer in the deeds office, 9 out of 10 is black people, who are either getting new land or they are exchanging land between themselves. So this issue of land, commanders, the SS by the president, is not addressing anything. And let's assume, commanders, that we had a problem with the issue of land, that there was no adequate land redistribution, that we were landless. Now, even if he did that, and with the presence of many illegal immigrants in the country, those land was not going to go to us. It was going to go to the foreigners, the illegal immigrants who they want to make legal in the country. You see, so this thing, either way, it's not it's not the right thing. And when you take the whole act, the entire act, the act actually doesn't do anything. It is just a repetition of the Expropriation Act of 1975. It is a regurgitation of that act. There is nothing creative. This law has always been there. It has always been existing. They just gave it a second blemish, a different color. The Expropriation Act of 1975 was meant to address the issue of absent landlords in the country, where you find somebody owns a piece of land and then he leaves the country to Europe or to elsewhere, and that person cannot be traced. So the act will make a provision that the municipality, the Minister of Agriculture, the head of a particular department at university, the chief executive of Transnet, and various other SOEs would have the right to expropriate that land and use it for the benefit of their department. In case of universities, it will be used for student accommodation. So this legislation has always been there. They just take it and then they give it a different name. In fact, if they were not these guys, if they were not they were not otherwise, they would take this act, the Expropriation Act of 1975, they will take it and amend it, and not to repeal it, because this new law is repealing the old act, and it is repealing the old act, which is saying the same thing as this one. Doesn't make sense, and one other thing, this expropriation bill, it is no different from the current land redistribution which is happening in our land claims court, where you go to the land claims court, you present evidence of the fact that a particular land is your ancestral land and then you get, there's no difference. There is absolutely zero difference. This issue of land, it is just being used for party political purposes by Cyril Ramaphosa because he does not know what we want. We want illegal immigrants out of the country. That is the thing we want. We don't want the land which we have. We want Zimbabweans to go home. We want Ethiopians to go home. We want everybody to go home because these people have made this country very small for us. They have compounded a lot of social issues. They are now worse. Crime is out of hand. We no longer have nightlife because of Zimbabweans. We no longer can wake up at 4 a.m. to go and bury people in Jane Fest because you are afraid of the spikes on the highways, which are put by Zimbabweans. So, in closing, commanders, this issue of land, it is not what it is. Because South Africans do have land. And there is a lot of other legislation which provides for somebody to get land if you need that land to be expropriated. They are just duplicating what is already there. Morning, commanders.
Morning, Commander. Thank you so much, Commander. You're absolutely correct. The truth from high.
Good morning, commanders.
Morning.
Yeah, no, I agree 100% with the statements of the previous speaker, and also Sis Bongile. Every time she speaks, he has ukuluma a sense. He has like practical things that you don't have to explain after she speaks. And it's true, we do have land. Land is in abundance. And when we talk about economy and urbanization, I think the buffoons that are the ANC and these people, they call themselves leaders. They always think that urbanization is the migration of people from rural areas to urban areas, forgetting that you can actually urbanize in the rural areas. Urbanization can mean infrastructure built, put together all the land that we have, produce from the land, and you start to build things like City Deep in the rural areas where we can exchange grains and fresh produce in the rural areas. We don't have to travel all the way to Pretoria from Rustenburg, for instance, to get the vegetables, when the same vegetables are from the northwest anyway, and then they are driven all the way to Pretoria, and then we buy them again from Pretoria. So the issue of apartheid, I think we were supposed to reverse engineer it, not just sign a piece of legislation and think that we have solved apartheid. What is it that we are solving? For instance, during apartheid, there is in every suburb. So the people would put out in their gates. So they will leave empty bottles, and the dairymen would come and exchange those empty bottles for bottles full of milk. So now what they did, they signed a concession with globalists. Now there's only few companies that are producing milk. For instance, we must buy milk from Dairy Bell and some of those producers. But we can actually have economies wherever we are. We don't have to centralize and monopolize these industries. But the ANC is playing within those powers where economy is centralized, and the people who are owning the means of production now are the same people that we're trying to fight. We as black people, I agree 100% with Bongile. The allies we need to build with are the Afrikaners that are actually rejecting this globalization that Ramaphosa is part of, that Jacob Zuma is part of. All of these ANC leaders, they are part of that. So they are coming to us and lying, telling us about land, which land, and to do what with the land. If you cannot I mean, you look at the Transnet buildings, they are dilapidated, all of them, most of them. Look at Park Station. Next to Park Station, there are about two or three Transnet buildings that are dilapidated. Transnet is the second biggest landowner in South Africa. What are they doing with that land? So which land are they still looking to take from who? For what purposes? So yeah, it's just to make a mockery of this whole thing. Me, as a person from Bophuthatswana, I can say that if they can just allow us, to get back everything that they stolen from us. For instance, Sun City was a state-owned company. It was not. It was managed by Sun International, but it was owned by Bophuthatswana. They stole it and they transferred that, to the national government. They stole Pilanesberg. Right now, Pilanesberg is owned by a private company that Legacy is called Legacy, the same company that owns the Leonardo and some of these tourist attractions. So what I'm saying is that they have stolen from us, and now they want to appear to be heroes. They have messed up a lot of things. Bophuthatswana or the Northwest is a crime scene. Those people, they stolen a Bob Air. Bob Air was a low-cost airline from Bophuthatswana.
Commander.
Yes.
Don't forget to mention Aventura, which was belonging to. They stole Aventura. Aventura in Bela, in Loskop Dam in Mpumalanga, Aventura in Badplaats, Aventura in Hazyview in Nelspruit, Aventura in Kruger National Park, Aventura in Lusukisiki. They stole all those things and then they sold them to the private sector.
And those things are built on land, isn't it? So that land belonged to other people. They stole the land. They themselves are land thieves. We had 5 game reserves in the Northwest. Madikwe Game Reserve, Pilanesberg, Manyani Mangope, and 2 others. Bob Air was sold to, it was changed to Sun Air, I think, because of Sun International. But they have stolen Medunsa. Medunsa it was owned by Bophuthatswana. It was built by Bophuthatswana. Today they are calling it Sefako Makato. I don't even know who that Sefako Makato is. Karangua Hospital, they've stolen that. They've changed it to something else. Our university,
George Mukhari.
But now you go to I love the way the Zulu nation are proud and they stood for what they believed in. They never changed anything in KZN. Go to the Northwest, you'll see a crime scene. I still cry for my country. Bophuthatswana was a country. We were developed as a people. We had our own technical Setlogelo. Today is TUT. We have, as I said, now is George Mukhari. I don't even know who George Mukhari. Odi Hospital. We had Lehigh Hospital, which was a private hospital. Today it's owned by Life or whatever.
Even that police college, that police academy in Hammanskraal, it was built by
Hammanskraal. Yes, we trained South African police services it was not police service, it was SAP, South African Police.
Do you still have Kwakwa College of Education?
There's a lot. In fact, if we can go back to the drawing board and say to our people, guys, let's take back what we own. I think Kwakwa was under which homeland? Free State. Yeah, Kibaswoto, which yeah. I mean, South Africa is a country.
We had Hebron College as a teachers' college. You remember?
Yes, Hebron. Yes.
There are many. Kotabani, I can name. There were so many nursing colleges. Many.
You know what happened? People were not looking at what was happening in Northwest. In Northwest was stripped, guys. It was stripped, and it never received coverage. It never received coverage. And Abosaren saw that I shall not name. They stripped in Northwest comfortably because they could control the media. That is why you can get somebody like Usputla Mahumapelo coming onto national TV saying him and his ANC, they had a problem. I mean, they had a program of making these illegal zamazamas into artisans and to go and revive those mines. He said, he said he wanted to have them in police. Can you imagine taking an illegal criminal to infiltrate the police force? He wanted them in crime intelligence. Yo, guys, yo. Hey, boo.
Dada Morero, yeah, he said that. He said he wanted to employ these Nigerians so that they can interpret. Mahumapelo,
even Usputla Ramaphosa, he said it recently. Yes, in the one more, Usupra, sorry, Usupra.
Supra, yeah. That one's a criminal. He's a criminal.
Yes, he said they had a program in Northwest that they were going to take these criminals and put them in crime intelligence because it takes one to catch one. And they were also gonna put them in the mineral resources chamber so that they can. Yo, guys, I was like, yo, utindo tata.
Let me tell you something. I was busy with, I was building an airport lounge, and I consulted with one lady. Equipment for the kitchen and the bar. You know that what that lady told me about a huge house that is owned by one of the Emiratis from UAE, I think somewhere in Limpopo. She says the house is massive, and I'm talking about things that happened. She told me this about 5 years ago. It's only now it's resurfacing that there are Arabs that are investing in South Africa. They've been here for some time now, and we don't know what they are doing here. What exactly are they investing in?
They are not investing. What they are doing, these Arabs, to be honest, they are creating their own countries there within a province. It's the same thing that happened in Eastern Cape, and it has been happening for at least the past 15 years. Whereby they build their own secluded game reserves, whereby even they bring in Filipino workers as their service staff. They don't even want to have black South Africans in their service, That is what has been happening with this ANC, that we are getting a privatization of everything in this country, and it's annoying, It is really annoying. They're selling off this country at piecemeal. When Poppy Ramathuba was announcing investment, I just knew she was talking rubbish. We're seeing new segregation now in the country that's coming up.
Hi, Classy Man, Commander Morning. Are you done through form, or do you still want to continue?
No, I'm done, my sister. Thank you so much. And my heart bleeds for South Africa.